Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Before I raise my point of procedure, allow me to use this opportunity to congratulate my sister from Kisoro, because she was sworn in when I was not here, to have defeated the NRM electoral thief chairperson in the names of Tango Doi. I congratulate her for that.
Honorable Naume. Honorable colleagues, let's listen to one another. Honorable Naume, that's a very unfortunate statement on a person who doesn't have a way here to defend himself. So I would really, I know you can use a better language, even when you have issues. Okay?
Okay, the point is made. I withdraw it, but I congratulate her. My point of procedure is that last year I brought a motion to your office and you willingly received it, and I was given a message, a letter from your office, that it was sent to the Attorney General to guide, because I was given a copy. It is now, we are closing Parliament today. The motion was to downsize this Parliament. That was the motion. The procedure that I'm asking, how long does Attorney General take to reply such a small thing? And it's the only one we can rely on, and he has not. Because I got a message from you saying that you have sent it to him. I have never received. Anyway, it is now a year.
Thank you.
Yes. And downsizing, by the way, will not be you people. It will be those who will be coming.
Thank you.
So not be affected. But we need to downsize. We are too many for the country. Thank you.
Thank you. Maybe for the clarification first, today we are not closing Parliament. Parliament will remain open. We shall only adjourn. Oh, we only adjourn, we don't close it. I don't have the power to close Parliament. Okay? Number two.
So obliged, I'm sorry, Speaker.
Number two, Attorney General, I will consult with Attorney General on the same, okay? And I'll ensure he talks to you. Yeah, on the same. Next.
Laying of papers.
What is the laying of papers? Allow us to finish laying of papers.
The fourth National Development Plan.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. I beg to lay on table the fourth National Development Plan, called the NDP4, for the period 2025-26 to 2029-2030. I beg to lay. With your indulgence, Right Honorable Speaker, I just need to make a few points to summarize some of the key issues that the House may need to know.
Honorable Minister, it seems to be a big statement. Is it more than 2 pages?
Mr. Speaker, I'll just summarize it. It's a big statement that will accompany the document for the committee to read in detail, but just to make a few highlights very quickly, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, closely working with the National Planning Authority, has developed the fourth National Development Plan, to guide the country for the next 5 years. So it is a 5-year planning framework. And this is in line with the legal requirements of Section 8(6) of the NPA Act 2024 as amended, and Section 9(3) of the Public Finance Management Act. The preparation of this plan has taken a participatory and highly consultative approach, with the consultation of Parliament having been conducted for 2 days on 3rd and 4th December 2024 at the parliamentary premises. We have also consulted His Excellency the President and the Cabinet, and various stakeholders have been consulted, both at the national and subnational level. So, Mr. Speaker, as the law requires, the budget framework paper, which my colleague has just laid on the table, has to be consistent with this plan. And we have put that into account by consistently following every step in the process of preparing the BFP to make sure that the two actually rhyme. So a number of issues my colleague highlighted here are derived from the plan. Permit me to indicate, Right Honourable Speaker, that the NDP4 is benchmarked on key achievements, challenges, and lessons learned in the implementation of NDP3. The goal and theme of NDP4, therefore, is to achieve higher household incomes, the full monetization of the economy, and employment for sustainable social economic transformation. We have worked out indicators to reflect how far.
Procedure, Honorable Chivu.
Right Honourable Speaker, I was heavily constrained to raise the procedural matter because, one, there is an extent to which some people should not take Parliament for a ride. One, you've brought a budget framework paper that should have been accompanied by the National Development Plan 4, and you've brought them together. For us, assuming we are going to rubber stamp that budget, that NDP 4, then you have already brought a document that should have been aligned to what we should have been agreed. But to insult us further, you are attempting to read the whole document, which is not even uploaded. So, to what extent do you want to take this Parliament? And to what level? I would have said for fools. But parliamentary language doesn't adopt that. Because does not permit me to do it. But otherwise, it's so much of an insult to use the process you adopt. You are putting us in a very bad light in this Parliament as a very unserious house. I mean, how do you on earth bring NDP 3, 4 before then? I mean, Mr. Rugorobi and Cabinet, take us for a serious people. And my procedural matter is that can he, if he's not even Nani, is not, that document is not even uploaded, could he humble himself and for heaven's sake and not read it? It's too much of an insult to this house.
Clerk, is the document uploaded? Okay. Yeah. Now, honourable ministers, you know it's courtesy. Yeah? It's courtesy. When you have such issues, you visit the presiding officer in his office. You give me a copy of the document. I don't have a copy of that document here. Yeah, that's why I was like, as if it's a big document. So if such a statement is not uploaded, Honourable Minister, it becomes difficult. But what I want to go on record is simple. It's very clear that Parliament was never consulted. There is a procedure of consulting Parliament. I've spoken to the Speaker. When you make your pronouncements as ministers, you say we are inviting MPs for a consultative meeting. That's not how they consult Parliament. You write to the leadership of Parliament, then we'll arrange for a year process of consulting MPs. But when you meet MPs somewhere, and what, that's not formal. Consultation should be formal, especially if it's provided for in the law. So I cross-checked with the Speaker, and the Speaker confirmed to me today, because she's the one who has been here, that we were never consulted. So I want the answer to capture it very clear that Parliament was never consulted. But, honourable colleagues, Section 8 of the NPA requires us to approve this plan. Okay? And then Section 9 of the PFMA, the BFP must be consistent with the National Development Plan. So that's why I wanted to provide guidance when Honorable Semuju raised this issue. That we shall, Honorable Mpuga, Honorable, he sat in Honorable Semuju's position, your position. So that's why I wanted to guide the Honorable Minister that I will refer the plan to the Committee on Budget to handle, and I give them 2 weeks. They report back here, we first approve the plan. After we have approved it, listen, after we have approved it, it's when we shall start on the budget framework paper. Because if we find the budget framework paper is not consistent, then it wouldn't be in line with the law. And honorable colleagues, we have deadlines to meet which are statutory. So instead of me sending back the minister, I can't say, now minister, go back, do this. No, we must get a solution, even where someone made a mistake. Honorable Jonathan.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for your guidance. The NDP is the pillar of planning for the country. And I wanted to beg your indulgence that outside the Committee of Budget, each sectoral committee of this House Mr. Speaker, I was emphasizing the point that the NDP is a very important document for the country. Each and every corner of this country must see themselves into that plan for the next 5 years. Outside the Committee of Budget, I wanted to beg your indulgence that the sectoral committees are invited to look into this plan. I'll give one example of how important it is. On the 22nd of November, the President launched a very ambitious project, a very important project in my opinion, called the Standard Gauge Railway, which each and every Ugandan from Karamoja, from whatever region, is going to finance and contribute. But when you look at the plan of that railway line, other Ugandans are not involved. It is not passing through the entire country, but it is a project that may be done once. I don't know which other government will come and do it. So I want to invite your attention, Mr. Speaker, that within these 2 weeks, let the sectoral committees for each sector look at the components of the National Development Plan and make recommendations so that every part of this country is seen into this. I have previously argued here, you remember, Mr. Speaker, when the government came and said that some money was being allocated to a particular region under what they call the tourism roads. Then another section of roads were given as security roads. Then I was asking, what about the other parts of the country? Which roads will go to them? If we have started saying these ones are for tourists, these are for security, yet everybody is paying the loan to make those roads, oil roads, for example. How about the coffee roads now? How about the cotton roads? How about the milk roads and the rest? So we can only interrogate that, Mr. Speaker, when we look at this national development plan at once.
Thank you. Now, Honorable Jonathan Odu. You see, if we had to take this plan to the sector committees, I think the time we shall need really. I'm thinking, since sector committee chairpersons are members of the budget committee, okay, they should be able to look at issues of each sector. They should be able to look at issues of each and every sector. Okay? But we have 2 weeks, because we have a deadline of approving the budget framework paper by 1st of February. So I need us to have 2 weeks of the NDP and then 2 weeks of the BFP. Colleagues, I think this would be fair. Okay? Yeah, Honorable Mpuga, who had raised the issue, then Honorable Katesh.
Thank you, sir, for your indulgence. This from the word go was my concern, right, Honorable Speaker, because eventually what is going to come out of the BFP will be the MTEF. And whichever projects and programs not seen with those will never appear anywhere, probably until some special, being orders so. And right, Honorable Speaker, when you allowed the Minister of Finance to lay the BFP and also read some statement not uploaded, I thought Parliament was being really shortchanged, because we did not debate his statement. He's making reference to inflation at 2.9% without referring to the CPI, the Consumer Price Index. Doesn't know what's happening to our people out there. So he has some paper inflation in his book. And we have not debated that. Right, Honorable Speaker, I think these two finance ministers are smart, and they know what they're doing. Parliament can only be smarter than them to tell them that these documents can as well be put in the pigeonholes of members, but they are not received here as official documents until the proper procedure is followed and we do justice to the business you are laying, Honorable Ministers. We have never failed to handle your... Remember the other time, right, Honorable Speaker, NDP 3 was actually brought after the BFP, and nobody saw it. Which is why we talk about paper tigers. They have paper tigers, those documents that have never been really implemented. Probably today we can roll back that, right, Honorable Speaker. And I'm happy you are telling them their faces that they never informed Parliament as to what they are trying to do. Informing Parliament does not mean putting up a poster at Parliament. It does not even imply putting messages in members, WhatsApp groups. So, Honorable Speaker, probably this is your day to ask the ministers to retreat. The House is here. We shall handle their business and do justice to this very delicate process. NDP 3 was mishandled. NDP 4 is coming. Like the Honorable Jonathan has observed, the budget over 5 years is a national mirror. If you are seeing the entire top of your head, I want to see my nose alone in that mirror. I want to see my ear in that mirror. So what will happen over 5 years when other citizens are alienated and they believe a budget is the preserve of some very smart people that can understand the BFP and attendant MTEFs? Thank you.
Yeah, honorable colleagues, with Honorable Katesh. Honorable Katesh.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I think as members of Parliament, we must be seen and we have a responsibility to add value to the processes that we are talking about, the process of planning, budgeting. The Minister has indicated that he did consultations, in whatever form it was. I think it would be good for us to know from the Minister whether the views and the ideas that the members gave you during the consultations have been incorporated in the table in the document you are tabling. Number two, Right Honorable Speaker, we are talking of NDP 4. We have not had a statement about the performance of NDP 3. We know that NDP 3, NDP 2, all of them did not achieve the performance that was set, the target that was set. So it would be very good for us to know how are we sure that we are actually going to do better with NDP 4 than NDP 3. We need a statement from the minister so that as we go out there to talk to our people about this new plan that we have, it is realistic and the people know that we are actually serious about its implementation. I beg to submit.
Now, honorable colleagues, I don't want this to be a much longer. Please. This is the laying of papers. Okay? Please. We have been on this issue since morning. I can tell you, listen to me, the minister wanted this NDP to be approved today. I can tell you. And we refused, okay? That's why, listen, that's why we have said 2 weeks. And why am I saying that? There are statutory deadlines on the BFP. So whether we express our anger here, we rotate, we do what, we have timelines to meet, okay? Now, honorable colleagues, my guidance and ruling is very clear that it goes to 2 weeks for NDP 4. We scrutinize it deeply, and then we come back, we go to the budget framework paper, which we shall be able to know, but now, because now we will have either approved or not approved the NDP, okay? And then any anomaly we find in the budget framework paper, we make recommendations, which they go back when they are making the MTF, they sort out. It's very, very simple, because the budget framework paper is not a final document to say you have now approved this, this is what they are going to implement. We give our views, they capture our proposals, and they go and they make a budget. So it shouldn't be really a very, very difficult issue on this. The committee, because this should be a policy issue, so we would have sent it to finance. But in finance, chairpersons of sector committees don't sit there, and we don't have time to come and include all these views that would want to capture the way honorable colleagues were raising. So let it go to budget. It can work with finance, with the Committee on Finance. Let it work with the Committee on Finance, and we ensure that we capture all these issues. Honorable Namuga.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I do appreciate that we have deadlines, but we are handling a very serious matter. Right Honorable Speaker, the Ministry of Finance has on several occasions taken this parliament for granted. We are talking about the National Development Plan. Honorable Katesh was asking about the performance of NDP3. It was at 17%. 17%. When the NRM manifesto's performance was at 57%. So we wanted to question, where did you get those projects that were handled in your manifesto when the NDP3 was at 17%? Right Honorable Speaker, when we are talking about some of these documents, we are tired. We are tired of seeing the Minister of Finance just bringing statements here for the sake of submitting documents. On several occasions, we've asked serious questions about, number one, the performance. These documents feed into the budget. You bring them late because you want to beat deadlines, and normally, when we look at the performance of the budget, it is very low. Right Honorable Speaker, the reason as to why MPs are suffering, it is because of some of these processes that are taken for granted. From today onwards, Right Honorable Speaker, the Minister of Finance should stop with immediate effect from taking Parliament for granted. We have suffered out there because of the recklessness of the Minister of Finance. Recklessness of the Minister of Finance, I state. You should stop taking us for granted, the Honorable Prime Minister, and I'm setting it as a former Minister shadow. And the public, yes, Chairperson, yes, Honorable Speaker, they should stop taking this country for granted. Right Honorable Speaker, from the side of accountability, we've brought up these issues. The performance of the budget is very poor because we don't spend time on planning. That is why we are suffering. So they should stop taking us for granted.
Honorable Namuga, what should we do to these two documents? You see, I want solutions. What do we do to these two documents? We send them to the committees for processing. Yes, that's it. Honorable Mwijuche. was it's almost the same.
Mr. Speaker, before I can say what we should do, last year we were talking about the core agenda came late. And they were saying, you see, we have no time and we have deadlines. So we wanted to let you know this should be the last time you come to this parliament and then tell us, you see, we have no time and we have deadlines. If you can't plan, just get out of those ministries. 2, like my colleague has suggested, we are all interested. We are all interested, we want to look at those documents. All sector committees should be given an opportunity to look at the documents. Otherwise we will have a processing. We will have a problem processing what we will not have read. The chairpersons of committees will respect them, but they don't reason for us in those committees, in the budget committee. So we are all interested.
But because it will come here for approval. You will debate here.
And then you'll be telling us we have no time. You will be telling us 1 minute. Please. We want to be part of the processes.
You know, honorable colleagues, you know, what interests me is very simple. I'll give you time to debate here. You will start talking of bridges in your constituencies only. This is a national development plan. In our debate, we must have a national outlook, not just a local outlook. Okay? So please, when you say I give you 1 minute, it depends on how you present. When you bring LC1 issues, I'll give you 1 minute because they should be handled in 1 minute. Next item.
Laying of papers, supplementary schedule 1 for financial year 2024-2025.
You can appropriate money under the Public Finance Management Act. And it is pursuant to the sections Honorable Duru is citing that the minister is doing what he's supposed to be doing. To transfer resources, the reason is that you have already done what he's saying. The transitional provision under the RAPEX law cannot transfer funds. It is pursuant to those provisions that now we go to the actual transferring of the funds. I don't know where the Attorney General is, but I see somebody who sits in his office there. Oh, they share an office, I guess. The Honorable Mao. You see, all said, Right Honorable Speaker, I think the minister is in order.
Thank you.
These provisions will be hanging if he does not transfer or allocate the money. And he cannot allocate the money by resolution under the Public Finance Management Act.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Prime Minister, there was a grand project of supplying goats throughout the country, especially in the cattle corridor, including my district of Nakaseke. But they had injected billions of money in that goats project, but it stopped abruptly. So the youth have petitioned me from different areas of the cattle corridor on what really happened to that project, because it had started very well. And you know you are under the program of empowering the youth. So we want to know what happened to the goats project, where government had injected billions of money. Thank you.
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable colleagues, I don't have a definite answer because it's the first time I'm hearing about the national goat projects. What I knew was that one of Karamoja under my office. But across the country, I really don't know. I would request that, I don't know whether I saw the Minister of Agriculture here. I request that you...
I don't know who is the acting chief whip today.
I request that the minister...
One member can volunteer, you call for us.
The minister be allowed in.
This project was under a gentleman. Right Honorable, this project was under one gentleman called Sembeguya that injected billions of money in it and that started in the cattle corridor areas.
Honorable Tamaguzi, let's wait for the... Oh, you can repeat the question? Honorable Tamaguzi, I'm giving you a chance to repeat the question.
Yeah, yes, Right Honorable Speaker, there was a GOATS project program under the government of Uganda where they injected billions of money that started supplying these goats, especially in the cattle corridor areas. My district of Nakaseke, Gomba, Sembabule, many youth had actually received part. But the program abruptly stopped. We want to know, because we've received several petitions from these youth, what happened to that GOATS program.
And who was heading it? You said
it was under one gentleman, Sembeguya. He's saying Paul Sembeguya. I want to know what happened to that program.
Honorable Kabanda, you have more information on it?
Yes, Honorable Kabanda seems to be having information on that program.
Honorable Minister, you know about the project?
Right Honorable Speaker, MAIF has not had that program for the last 3 years. We've not had a program for that. But however, I have scant information that some years, many years back, Echi, the president, directed Sembeguya to have a goat breeding program and was given land. I can only pledge to go and find out more information and report to this House. Thank you.
These are issues because now that means me giving you space on the order paper. These are issues the sectoral committee can take up when they are working on the budget framework paper. Pick such issues, okay? Yeah, thank you. Yes, I had picked Honorable Saro Pendi.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, there is an advert that has been ongoing by the Rela Women's Foundation, and this advert is calling on people to apply for various... The advert is actually requesting people to apply for various positions.
Yeah. IT, what's happening to our microphones?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. There had been an advert. I came across it online, actually on some platform, and I interested myself because there are young people who are looking for jobs. They wanted communications officer, finance administration manager, office administrator, and others. So, Right Honorable Speaker, I interested myself in knowing about the organization before I could actually forward this to those who are looking for jobs. But, Right Honorable Speaker, I was shocked to find out that this organization is based in Mpigi, Buyala, and among their mission, it is to create a resilient, sustainable, safe space for LGBTQ, lesbians, bisexual, queer persons through entrepreneurship, advocacy, and access to essential services. Right Honorable Speaker, we passed a law in this country against LGBTQ activities. And for an organization to actually advertise, and amongst what it's supposed to do is to ensure that, it employs people to promote and ensure that the lesbians, bisexual, and queer people in this country are actually protected and supported. I wonder, Right Honorable Speaker, how this can happen when this law is still fresh in our minds and we have President Trump reversing what is going on in the US. So, Right Honorable Speaker, RELA is a queer feminist umbrella organization founded in 2017 to address challenges of these LBQ. No, this one is lesbians, bisexual, and queer. There's are 3. And it's actually in this country. I took a step in calling somebody at the Uganda Registration Services Bureau. And Right Honorable Speaker, the response I got is that what is registered at Uganda Registration Services is not what this organization is actually promoting and doing in this country. So what they are going to do, actually from their mission and objectives, they are actually, giving employment to people. How? Through providing resources so that people can engage in entrepreneurship.
Question to the Prime Minister.
So, Right Honorable Speaker, I want to ask the Prime Minister whether she's aware of this RELA Women's Foundation, and if not, what government is going to do to such institutions that are actually promoting or undertaking activities that are against our own laws and morals as a country. Thank you.
Right Honorable.
That Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, this is a very relevant question. Now that she has information that these people are promoting what is not supposed to be promoted in this country, I direct the Minister of Internal Affairs, Uganda Police, all security agencies to swing in action and make sure that this.
Thank you. Honorable Seru Kenya.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
And now that URSB registered them and they are doing different things, they should go and investigate, and if found guilty, let them be deregistered.
And your Minister for Ethics is seated there also.
She's also directed.
Yes, Honorable Seru Kenya.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, over 200 families in Sabagabo are concerned with the merger of UNRA because they have contract with UNRA, and the concerns are here. One, they were valued 2 years back and never received the report, and the value of their land has changed. So are they going to be valued again? Secondly, this agreement, is it going to be honored by the Ministry of Works? Thirdly, are we retaining the contractor of Busabara Road? When is he coming back? Because the drainage is bad off and spoiling people's houses. Then, what has the government done what has the government done on the loan so that our road can be worked on? Another question is, when is the compensation? Thank you so much.
Honorable Minister, Prime Minister has said standing.
Thank you. Right,
and you can tell us about Karuma Bridge also.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I appreciate the questions from the Honorable Member. We have just had a one-to-one discussion with him, same questions, and I'd given him my answer. But since he has brought it on the floor, I will again answer him. The contract signed by anybody, be it a service provider, be it any of those people who are what we call the PAPs, the project affected persons, a contract signed with the government of Uganda. So they are valid and they will be honored. The valuations will be updated. We have a chief government valuer and there are standards which we follow. If we will say they need to reevaluate, we will reevaluate those people who will need to be evaluated. The contract on Busabala Road has halted work because of lack of payment, which is being worked on. Prime Minister's here and Minister of Finance is here. We are aggressively working on that, and very soon all the contractors whom we owe money will be paid, and I know they will resume work. And so all those problems will be resolved. The issue of Karuma, I'm happy to inform Parliament that I promised that before Christmas, Karuma Bridge will be opened for people traveling in that direction to travel. Karuma will be open tomorrow by 6 a.m. for light vehicles and buses. As we finalize the repairs for the heavy trucks, so please bear with us. We'll start with buses and light vehicles tomorrow by 6 a.m. You can travel through Karuma Bridge.
Thank you. Honorable Mosokot.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, over these years we conducted census, but there are many enumerators and supervisors that are still complaining until today that they have not been paid their money, including some LC1 chairpersons. Over this period when we went for a small break, I met several of them. My question is, when will they be paid? Because it seems to be an urgent matter. Thank you.
Right, Honorable.
Right, Honorable Speaker, I chair the Census Committee as Prime Minister of Uganda. According to me, all the money that was supposed to pay the enumerators, the guides and everybody was paid. And if there are issues, I request that you inform me in writing so that we can, if there are maybe, those are irregularities in districts maybe. Because according to us here, we know we closed our books of accounts. Then we shall see, those culprits will go, if there are people who stole the money.
Thank you. Honorable Grania.
Thank you very much.
Honorable Court, you refer up to the Prime Minister.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. To the Right Honourable Prime Minister, we have Museveni Regional Referral Hospital. We received an X-ray. We appreciate that from government. However, Right Honourable Prime Minister, I want to bring to your information, to your notice, that this regional referral hospital has been working without an X-ray machine since June of this year. Right Honourable Prime Minister, this X-ray machine has been down. We reported it earlier. We were told that the machine was working upon. The procurement of the part that is required is in the process. But Right Honourable Prime Minister, it is over 6 months. I wonder which kind of procurement is taking over 6 months. This is a very deadly season where people are prone to accidents. We understand the roads.
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
The festive season.
Yeah,
how soon shall we have that X-ray machine repaired? Thank you.
The Ministry of Health is directed to send their teams to go and repair the machine.
Thank you. Honorable Mwijuche.
Thank you so much, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, while the Prime Minister was doing great work in eastern Uganda, the rains swept off the bridge that connects Shema and Buhweju. And as I talk now, we can't cross at Chankanda. And so I know you are doing something like you promised about that road, because the only main road to Buhweju, and it's a Maram road, and you had said and prayed that you're going to do something about it. But is there anything you can do in the meantime?